And I wrote a book inspired by that experience. And now's where I should say, it's not really autobiographical, but it kind of is. About a bourgeois Mexican-American 18-year-old virgin. That part is fictitious. Who moves to Hollywood from the suburbs and doesn't know if he's gay or not, but is just about to find out. And he gets a job as a cashier in this restaurant, just between all these other worlds, and a translator and everything else. And after work, every night after midnight, he drives around and gets high and listens to the radio. Sam Walters, everybody. Or the radio of his memory, Sam Walters. And tries to figure out if Los Angeles is a shithole or a paradise. You have to read 300 pages before you know the difference. And on this particular night where we are, one of the waiters, who was a leather man named Richard, got stabbed by some dude he brought home. And everyone was stressed and weird. And our hero, Danny Romero, is out of pot and driving very nervously toward the wrongest part of town. From Our Lady of the Intersection, the book Our Lady of the Intersection. And the subtitle of the book reads, "To not care, to fuck everything. These are the prerogatives of paradise." At the corner of Vine, Danny looked left, north, toward the Hollywood sign, shimmering in the still warm night. Hollywood was supposed to be a refuge for the misfits, but it was just part of the problem. He remembered the waiters on a rampage one night about how movies depict gays as evil and how this makes everyone violent against them. Midnight Cowboy and Dog Day Afternoon and Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and Deliverance and Midnight Express and all the freaks and murderers, but who cared? Never mind movies, he thought. Movies are necio. You can't expect them to make good movies about gays. Movies can't even get Mexicans right. Movies are made right here in LA where there's nothing but pinche Mexicans everywhere. But what about music, he thought, staring with hatred at the Capitol Records building. His mind was flooded with song lyrics, written by people who knew about gay shit, or at least witnessed it, or at least claimed to. They were all so dark and hopeless. Suck one dick and you're going to die, painfully and horribly, and you probably deserve to.
Putting pain in a stranger.
David Bowie, the biggest fag of them all.
Will jump in a river holding hands.
So that's where it all ends up with these jotos. Suicide.
Your rock and roll suicide.
Bowie's not even the biggest fag. Lou Reed's the biggest fag.
Said, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side.
Drugs, drag, whores, hard rock. It's all the same thing, or at least on the same side of the street. So much pain. Judas Priest.
I'll shall bear the branding of his thermal lance.
Chingado, hijo. It almost sounds like he wants it. Wait, is Halford a fag? A heavy metal singer? Is that even possible?
Fall to your knees and repent, if you please.
No, he told himself. Don't be like the waiters at the restaurant. They think everyone's gay. Besides, Danny thought, everyone would laugh at him if he suggested Halford were gay. Judas Priest was what people liked as an antidote to all that fag disco shit. Maybe it's different for English dudes, he thought. Maybe they can be faggy without being gay. Like Halford and Robert Plant and Jagger. Wait, Jagger.
I was gay in New York, just a fag in LA when the whip comes down.
Ouch. And what was that weird old 45?
I remember you in Hemlock Grove back in 1956. You were a faggy little leather boy with a tiny piece of stick.
Such contempt and drugs and leather, but still, Jagger's English. It's different for them. Or is it? And what exactly was Bowie anyway?
A small genie snuck off to the city, strung out. New York's a go-go and everything tastes right. Lives on his back, loves chimney stack.
What the fuck? But that song's about New York. It's like all Lou Reed songs too. New York songs are supposed to be dark and violent and perverted and decadent. It's Babylon. That's what the New York scene's about, right? Richard was from New York. No wonder he got into dark shit. No wonder he got sliced in the nalgas. But no, Hollywood's no better. Even if it didn't have all the graffiti. Hollywood's Babylon also, even more than New York.
Well, white punks on dope. Mom and Dad moved to Hollywood. Hang myself when I get enough rope. I can't get clean, but I know I should.
Yep, cross those hills from the valleys, and there you are in Hollywood, doomed, just by going across town.
He's heading for the cheating side of town.
You can't avoid it.
He said, how'd you like to do it in a room downstairs? And it was just another night on the other side of life.
That's just the way it goes around here, on the other side. And what was that chingada puta song they played at the coffee house?
Ooh, he gives me head.
What were those lyrics?
I'd like to hit him on the head until he's dead. The sight of blood is such a high. Ooh, he gives me head.
And Válgame Dios if that wasn't the best fucking song of the year. Danny remembered Dean Yamaguchi from high school. Danny's main music partner back then, with a great collection of albums at home and cassettes for the Camaro his parents gave him. And Danny remembered that night he was driving around with Dean and Dean's girlfriend, what the hell was her name? And that Necio, Carolyn Cohen, and some other girls playing oldies, and that stupid song, The Game of Love, played, and everyone sang along.
The purpose of a man is to love a woman, and the purpose of a woman is to love a man.
And Danny got weird and didn't know why, and he wanted to sing with everyone, but he also didn't want to sing with anyone. He complained that the song was dumb and old, and Dean should find something newer. And Dean put on some Bob Seger or something, and the singing and driving around Pasadena continued, and no one probably thought any more of it, except Danny, all of a sudden remembering it with a shudder.
The purpose of a man.
The only purpose.
It started long ago in the Garden of Eden.
Sure, drag the fucking Bible in this puta mierda cabrón, and all he wanted to do was sing with his friends who felt wronged. He didn't even know why. Like him singing the song made it bullshit, and then not singing it was ruining the party. And that's why they hate the gays, he thought. You just can't have a group sing along of The Game of Love when there's a puta pinche faggot in the car. Danny parked directly behind that sex shop with private booze, 25-cent sign that he had hurried past that afternoon. This was exactly how he wanted it. He wanted to be there before he could even admit to himself he was driving there, before he could talk himself out of it. This was going to happen tonight. Whatever this actually was, since he still had no idea what went on in such a place. He remembered the beer in his pocket, and he whipped it out, ripping off the cap and taking a swig big enough to foam in his mouth. Fuck Dean Yamaguchi and Carolyn Cohen. And fuck that cabron who knifed Richard. And fuck Richard, too. Fuck everyone. Fuck whatever's going to happen next. Who cares? Let's just get this fucking over with, he said. He finished his beer and locked the car. Sam Walters, everyone.
William Berger.